that there's a place for both. You can somehow push, but then you need to create that pull, and those two need to work together in a systemic setup that makes innovation safe from a traditional culture to modern research and innovation.
This is not a simple thing, and the truth is in the balance here, right? It's strike the balance between the desired and the possible, and going to any one extreme doesn't really solve it.
Technological innovation and the downstream impact of that take time. I know our CEO says, we're an overnight sensation, 17 years in the making, right? So none of us are looking to solve simple problems in the present when we're thinking about the way that technology development can transform many different areas of our day-to-day world and how we live in it. So I think that addressing only an explicit problem or a well-articulated demand in a current market does miss opportunities for that broader systems impact. It's probably no surprise we can have a product with baked-in benefits at a really low cost, which offers technological advantages. But if you can't ship it, and if you can't get through customs, and if you can't ensure transport of the goods in a state which allows them to be readily used from their box, then it's meaningless. And I think that logistics and scalability of logistics networks for technology that is low cost poses a real challenge.
One of the things I push a lot for internally is that we stop treating these things like they're a one-off, like they're case by case. So nothing is, of course, entirely alike, nor is it entirely different. But many of the processes that we go through are alike, irrespective whether we are, in Africa or somewhere else. And often the challenges we encounter are much more dependent on the type of project we're dealing with and who we are selling to, more than, whether it's a wash or a health product or whatever it might be. So understanding the determinants for the approach you need to take in order to drive uptake is critical. And I do believe that, as with anything else, there's a profession in go-to-market, there's a profession in marketing, there's a profession in having a dialogue with government. And one of our big enemies is when people think everything is case by case and you can't abstract and generalize across some of these things. Of course you can. You just need to approach it at the right level.
I think we need to stack local, regional, and global. And so they need to work together, and we need to know at which level do you engage. You're working with a farmer in a context, in a certain space, in a certain social environment. But we do need to challenge ourselves to not just say, so everything is context specific, so you cannot replicate. On the contrary, if you have all those data points in diverse setups, then you can actually extract what is common and not driven by the circumstances per se or the environment per se, and so lift it up to a conceptual and methodological level that then can be applied regionally and globally. So you need the integration of global, regional, and local. And this is a bit similar to accepting that there's strategic, tactical, and operational innovations that we need to do.
I think the space that I believe will revolutionize the most, not the least in low resource settings, is allowing for beneficiaries, communities, to identify their own needs, if you will, and cut out the professional middleman. So specifically, I believe a lot in some of the censoring technology, making that ubiquitous, and what that can do in terms of giving agency, empowerment to people in requesting the kinds of health support they can get. I think the same is going to, I hope that the same will happen within education.
I really think that one of the biggest challenges that we have is really to shift our food system and all that implies from that resilience, efficiency to the resilience piece, and that's going to require a completely different way of thinking. Now, luckily, those in the food system that produce our food are really used to thinking about resilience, and resilient doesn't mean that you're completely inefficient. It means that there is a combination that you can stand back up, right? That there is this elasticity in the system, and I really think that things are going to change by using data-driven visualization tools.
I think this is about moving towards increasing, resilience by leveraging additional data and the value of that data to help us solve some of our biggest problems better and to gain insights that allow us to do that in an evidence-based way.